Hello everybody, this is Natasha Advani here, a cancer survivor, international speaker and manifestation coach. Today's video, I'm going to share a horrific experience, what I experienced during port flushing. It is I'm telling you this because it is very, very important for us to have some awareness of the medical things which are happening in our lives, especially which regards to breast cancer. I still remember, when I was exhausted after my first operation, and they had put a port and chemo, and I was like, I just didn't have stamina to walk. And after a month or month and a half, we have to do port flushing. Of course, I had no idea what is port flushing, as you know, till we don't go through the issue or challenge, we never really research, in the medical field, what is happening, what are the various diseases, the basic terms which I didn't know. So when I had to do port flushing, I went to the hospital, and those days they said RT-PCR is required. So when I went, I was not informed RT-PCR is required, and they said, no ma'am, tomorrow we'll do it. So I said, okay, then let them come home. But I still remember, it was like I get jitters on my spine even sharing that experience, because this nurse had come, and she didn't know anything about port flushing so much, and she put such a big needle, okay, around my breast without anesthesia, and I think that was the worst experience. I was like crying in pain, and then she removed it, because you have to, normally what is port flushing is, once we have a port inside us, we have to avoid infection, every 45 days we have to do it till we have it, till we have it inside us. And normally when we do chemo, they just put a hook in the port, so it is less painful because of advanced technology. Because olden days, they used to put it in intravenous, the chemo, and it used to be very, very painful. So thanks to advanced technology, this is the new method we use. So I still remember she put such a big needle around here inside my breast, and I was like crying, and I couldn't believe it. What is she doing? And when she removed it, she said, sorry ma'am, I couldn't find the pot. And again she put such a big needle, and I was exhausted. I said, if this is port flushing, I don't know what's going to be chemo and later on. And even after that, so I called up the doctor, and she apologized, and she told me, no, this is not the way they do it. There is some mishap or some miscommunication happened. And I was like, yeah, but and I didn't have any painkillers or nothing like that. So she apologized, and then I realized that what that nurse had done was wrong. Then when I went to the hospital for my next port flushing, I realized it's just a small hook they put, and it is not painful at all, and this lady, she twice put such a big needle, and without any cream or anesthesia, and she was so irresponsible, like she couldn't get the port, so it was a horrifying experience. So why am I telling you this? Because it's very important to do research on what is port flushing, how is it done. If it is your first time, go and see how other people do it. Ask the nurses, so that you don't have to suffer the pain I went through. I was shocked, and this was like my first time. So I still remember when I had to go to chemo to the hospital, I was like so frightened. As I earlier mentioned, I was a woman who was extremely scared of hospitals and needles. So imagine such a big needle going inside. So that's when I learned that it's very important to understand basic medical terms. And again, not necessary for all diseases, but if you have any disease or anything, first do a lot of research, ask how it's being done, because there were mishaps in the hospital, and it will happen, because at the end of the day, it's human fallacy. Human beings do make mistakes. But again, you have to be on high alert. Being a patient, you should know around what's happening, or at least you should have someone who has some medical knowledge, so that anything goes here and there, you can always ask your relative or someone who has some knowledge, at least basic knowledge in the medical field. So please be aware and always do research, or if you've had a disease, find out properly how is the procedure done before you actually do it on yourself. So this is a very, very important tool, important lesson to learn, because all of us are layperson. Like, at least I'm not in the medical fraternity. I specialize in alternative medicine, so this was something very, very new to me. So I realized I didn't know anything, but I learned a very, very big lesson that you should first find out and research how it is done to other people. Go to the hospital and find out, and then get it done for yourself. And very, very important quality that I developed through this is resilience and bearing the pain and coming back, because it was really horrifying. Even now, if I remember, I can't even sometimes speak about it, because it was so painful. So please do this research. It's very, very important. If any of your loved one is suffering from this dreaded disease or any other disease also, it's very important to do research, at least on lay terms, and also like going to the hospital and seeing how it's done to other people, or ask, if you can't see that, ask 2-3 more nurses, is this the same way it is done? So please follow this. And for more tips and for more tips and more, to find out more about a lot of other challenges in your life, or if you want to break through in any area of your life, please do contact me. My website is 𝓵𝓫𝓵𝓸𝓫.com. Thank you.